Good evening, Ralph Hartman again. Nice evening here, a little bit of rain here in Sarasota. Earlier I mentioned a detail from when I was a kid. I don't like to bother people about matters that aren't significant, and I don't want to use too much time on it. You know, people are busy, but this is just like if something happens, I drop dead or whatever, that I've made my opinion or testimony known about various matters. So anyway, I mentioned about when I was a junior Navy cadet. Well, a detail about back then that is significant about other matters is that my father, Albert A. Hartman, at the time I had thought he died back in near the end of February of the same year, 1967. The membership in the Navy Cadets organization was in the summertime of '67. I was a pallbearer in the funeral. Albert Hartman allegedly died in Baptist Hospital, North Kendall Drive in Miami, about February 25th of 1967. And his funeral was in the first week of March of '67. I don't remember the name of the chapel, but it was very crowded. I do remember that there was maybe 100 or more than 100 people. And that after the funeral, that I attended the procession and was a pallbearer. And Albert Hartman was allegedly interred in a cemetery off of the Palmetto Expressway, a cemetery named Miami Memorial Gardens. But the fact is, these days, for a lot of years now, it has been very obvious that Albert Hartman lived on in secret instead, and became, I could say, more obvious about it in more recent years. But pertaining to back during 1967, another childish detail was that while I was a junior Navy cadet, there was an occasion where I led a drill competition on South Beach. A gust of wind just blew through and blew a couple items away that I can go ahead and fit in a few minutes. I led a drill competition on South Beach. And, us kids, 11-year-olds, we were really still kids, children. And during the competition, something happened that I hadn't expected. Some other youths that were about 2 years older than us suddenly arrived, and we hadn't been told about them before, an organization known as the Junior Marines. Well, anyway, as I was leading the competition, there weren't many other groups. I think there was only maybe 2 or 3 other groups. And as I was leading the competition, noticing that the other group, or the group of Marines that arrived, obviously a lot taller than we were, and they began to drill in much more complex, details. I didn't mean to shake the camera. I'm holding my laptop in front of me. So anyway, I concentrated on what I was working on, but what then happened at the same time was that from left peripheral, I noticed that Albert Hartman was suddenly standing on the other side of the chain link fence, outside of the parking lot where we were drilling. And he was wearing his aviator sunglasses and looking proud. Something else just blew through. Man, it isn't a hurricane or anything. It's just a sudden little bit of a storm. And kind of spooky. I remember in the other video I was saying that there are some that maybe have a control, something of control of weather. I'm just kidding. It's just a little bit of a wind. An empty package of corn chips just blew through. So anyway, but my dad died a few months ago, so I was startled, But I was in the middle of a competition, so I couldn't stop. So I said, I thought to myself, I'll just alter the drill plan to make a column left or whatever, so I could see more clearly. But then when I looked, he wasn't there anymore. So I continued with the competition and completed it. And after the competition, I didn't say anything to anyone. And I didn't even say, I never even told my mother about it. The reason being is that I had attended Albert Hartman's funeral, and back then I had attended Sunday school, and I believed that there was such a thing as God. I believed that there was something important about Jesus, and I assumed that for some reason God had sent Albert Hartman back because he was proud of me and wanted to watch the drill team competition, and that he was somehow then called back away. So anyway, assuming, believing that my father was really good and that he had been to heaven. Well, I turned out to be wrong. I wouldn't have wanted to disappoint anyone, but sometimes progressions in life become more of an education process that isn't really pleasant. So anyway, I just wanted to mention that about what seemed kind of partly ridiculous about a previous video pertaining to the darter, is that there was a clue, first indication of adult controversy pivoting on junior military organization. So anyway, that said, that's all I have to say about the particular subject, except the indications are that Albert Hartman is of a corruption and dangerous. And I hope that everyone's all right. I've seen him on a number of occasions in passing that he's apparently associated with some corruption. He might occasionally drive a fire engine, as I said in previous reports. I saw him driving a Monster brand tow truck one day. He was driving past, and he said that he was driving a Monster brand tow truck because accusing that when I was a little boy I was obsessed about watching monster movies, but that isn't true. So I'm a good guy. I'm hoping everyone's all right. I've never done anything to hurt anyone. So anyway, I hope everyone's having a good night. Thank you.